candidates. Now's the time to ask. A few things I'd like to lay out for folks this evening. Please be polite, right? This is hard. This is a hard thing if you're not necessarily used to this. Everybody's staring at you like an all-star. With regards to questions, I would really ask that please pay attention to what's been said. I am going to curtail a question that's been asked multiple times, all right? This is just for the sake of simplicity. If it's something that's an absolutely burning question, fine. We aren't going to go to the full time, so if this is a conversation you want to have one-on-one with the candidates after, I recommend doing it that way. If you feel that your question, it wasn't quite answered in the iteration that you maybe wanted. So there will be other opportunities that aren't just this, to have a conversation with them. We are going to be going for an hour, so if it turns out that we don't necessarily need the full time, fantastic. But we have an hour's time. At 8:30 though, that will be the cutoff, and that's when this will end for the evening. Anyways, moving on to the main show. I present you the two candidates that have put forth their name to potentially be the next Baron and Baroness of Montengarde. Would you please introduce yourselves?
Hello. I am Safis Barosin. Visviskar. I am Squire to Sakura, Duchess Sakura, and yeah. Most of you know me, I think, fairly well.
Are you sure?
You know, I've done a lot of stuff-ish.
I'm Freda's Gianna's daughter. I'm Arcadia's student doing a lot of silver. So if you can't hear me, I'm super nervous. I'm the current Kingdom Archery champion, and I'm from the farm. I don't know what else. Sorry.
You can suss out more as the evening progresses. All right, now that you've initially met our candidates, first question.
Hi. So first of all, I said compliments on the matching outfits. Very cute. I wrote down my question. So, what do you see as the Barony's current weakness, and how would you propose to address it?
I don't think our Barony has a current weakness per se, but I do believe that what we want to address and help progress is the communication between the baronial offices and the populace, which has already been started and established by our previous Baron and Baroness. We wanted to help foster and grow that to a much stronger and better place.
Same here. So, as a for instance, how would you do that?
Ideally, answering emails and being present, and I don't know what else.
Probably helping to, expand the officer positions by getting more people involved.
Les?
One of the problems the SCA faces is growth in newcomers incoming. I'd like to hear some of your ideas on demos or retention that you guys might have that you would like to see happen in Montengarde, even if they're old ideas or something new. What do you guys think about it?
I am a big fan of demos. As far as old ideas, I don't want to see the old demos that we have been doing in the past disappear. I'd like to see them pushed and, you know, to happen more.
Thank you.
What made you increase the morale of the Barony?
Getting more involved and participating in all the different things that happen, being online, going to the online, like, arts and sciences and the arts maybe.
I think also trying to convince more of the populace to be more involved. I think the more involved we are as a populace, the better we can build relationships with each other, and therefore morale will grow.
So Freitas, you are not from our barony. You are part of our family being from Lindbergh. Calgary is a very different society and culture from Lethbridge. So I'm wondering what level of full commitment are we going to actually be able to see from you as you live in another city? And it's not to slate you, it's just, I understand that that is a different distance, so.
So in the last 2-3 years, I have traveled weekly to come up here, to go to the quad site, to go to different, Murderwood and other places. I'm here a lot. So the travel back and forth isn't necessarily an issue for me. I actually quite enjoyed it. So I don't see that changing. I'm hoping maybe to do more of it. So I don't think it's going to be an issue.
So, you're shaking your head and you say, "Yes, I do." Why are you running? And you can each answer in your own way.
So, for me, personally, I have two reasons I'm running. A selfish reason and a not selfish reason. I absolutely enjoy this community, this activity, RSCA. And I don't want to see that disappear. So in that sense, in order for that to continue, we need to volunteer and do things within our baronies, within our kingdoms. So this is another step for me. This is another step in volunteering for something to help further what I don't want to see disappear. The selfish reason, on a baronial level, the one thing that first caught me, and I enjoyed the most, is receiving an award. Selfishly, I want to be able to give that to someone.
Pretty similar, actually. I really like the service aspect of the SDA, obviously. This is just my one step up more that I wanted to do. I think, same with him, the awards are amazing. I would love
Sorry. As a couple, how do you see yourselves presenting the barony, both at the kingdom and outside the kingdom level? Presenting and leading our barony at those events elsewhere, and presenting how we are represented elsewhere. How do you see yourself supporting that?
I think going to different kingdoms, I've done that already. I enjoy doing it, so going as a baron and baroness would be kind of interesting. Definitely would love to represent Montengarde in this, in doing so, hopefully with grace.
I think we already represent Montengarde quite well. I think the best option is for us to represent it by sharing, I guess, the communications that we build within our barony to the rest of the kingdom. And I think we can do that. And other kingdoms.
Juan?
So in your view, as Baron Baroness, what would the role of your champion be, and how best would they help you in your vision of the barony?
Well, I think the role of our champions.
Sorry, we're being momentarily distracted by somebody's car alarm.
I think the role of the champions would continue to be the same. It shouldn't be any different. They're there to represent. They're representing whatever avenue they fought for to get. And they're there to represent the barony and the baron and baroness. The baron and baroness are there to represent them. You know, as the face to the rest of the kingdom, or the voice.
And hopefully we can help elevate them in their look as well.
I think also we should give them extra roles.
Yeah.
No.
Keep doing it. Elias, your...
So, a lot of the questions so far have been about multiple suggestions and everything. I'm going to bring it into a mundane aspect. Being a baron, baroness, or any kind of city royalty actually takes on a lot of time and a lot more money and expenses. And a lot of this you never get to see back. This is kind of a personal question, but are you in a position where you can take on that financial burden and even more so that time burden, which will take on? You guys feel prepared and ready for that?
Like I said in the last, a couple of questions ago, I do a lot of traveling as it is anyways, so I don't see that being more of a burden, really, as more than it is already, so I think I'm comfortable in it, and I think we'll be okay.
Freitas has forced me to go everywhere,
Yeah.
so financially I can handle everything still to this day.
What about the time commitments that you'll have? Because there will be online meetings and there will be staying to Curia that they always put the very last thing at the end of a 3-day event.
Yeah. The online isn't an issue, obviously, because that's easy to do. My job, I get a lot of, I don't work Fridays or the weekends, so that's kind of nice. And then long weekends, I don't work the staff holidays, so I'm pretty free to do a lot of stuff, so it's kind of nice.
I can stay longer at events if I have to.
Yeah.
It's just kind of,
Which
are you
I
guys really
would.
staying doing that extra?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, kind of a selfish question. Looking at other baronies within the kingdom, you see a lot more families involved. And looking around tonight, there's one child here, mine.
are you guys looking to maybe start growing the Barony, trying to make us more family friendly, I guess is the best way to describe it?
I mean, I have older children, so I can't provide that. I think kids in the community are fantastic. Obviously, we need them to grow. It's kind of up to you guys to bring your kids in.
You know, they're more kids.
I feel we are a family-friendly
Yeah.
society. I have kids, and when they were little, I brought them to events. Unfortunately, they no longer have an interest in the SCA. They prefer the video games. But I don't see what isn't family-friendly in our SCA events.
Yeah, it's really up to the parents to bring their kids. I think it's, yeah, I don't know how to.
Thank you.
Just as a follow-up to her question, do you see the potential of getting newer, quote-unquote, younger people in the group? So just getting more new blood into the group. Do you think that might be something that would increase, the families so that, there would be more younger kids involved?
Well, yeah, obviously. Demos are great for those. But, yeah, then bring your friends in and, I don't know, like.
I would like to see more people come into a Barony, new blood, so to speak. Although I don't know if that's the best term. I think we would benefit well with families joining our SCA.
So, if you're going to talk about that, sorry,
No worries.
I'm curious to see if you have any ideas about how to support newcomers as they come into the Barony, not just one night when they first show up, but over a longer term.
I think that's pretty much what the community is for. Like, if someone's interested in the rapier aspect, that's what the rapier would get involved in, or heavy, or archery. I mean, we're pretty
That's
friendly,
kind
and
of
we're pretty friendly, and we can talk to people.
I do not think, I haven't thought on that, on how to support newcomers just on a personal level. I do agree it's our job as a community to support individuals and new people. It shouldn't just fall to, specifically the Baron and Baroness or specifically, Fred.
But there are places where they have programs that actually support newcomers through more than the first contract. And I'm just wondering if you've given any thought to
I
that.
haven't thought of that.
So, should you be successful in becoming the next Baron and Baroness here, there will be a significant change to your game within the SCA. This is in regards to what is seen as appropriate or not appropriate to do, where people will be wanting to step up more or less and be in contact with you guys. Have you thought about how you are going to manage that first year of being a Baron and Baroness should you be successful?
I think that's something that, talking with Baron Weber and Baroness MPs, I'd like to learn from them more on what they did their first year, because it's a good question. I don't really have an answer for, other than, bringing in my,
I've already come to the conclusion that I'm going to have to evolve and change. We'll see how that works.
we have a long learning process to go through.
So
So I have a quick question here that if you are successful in your setting up, you are going to be the face of the Baronies and Baron of Montengarde. You're going to be the face, the first thing a lot of people first see. Can you tell us a little bit about the persona and dress that you guys actually are right now that you would be able to tell a new person who comes up and says, hey, what is this? What are you wearing? What are you doing?
Yes. I, Sigfus Dokusen, am a Varangian in Constantinople, 1054, both at the height and fall of the Eastern Holy Roman Empire. My clothing is traditional Swedish clothing because I am a traveler and, I haven't been there long. So I definitely like the wealth, that I get from traveling. But on my shield, I have a chiro because when in Rome.
I'm a Norse lady from Greenland, from around that same time, so yeah. So that was
You
simple.
will get asked that question by so many people.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about that.
Richard.
So if you're successful, will you look at engaging and re-engaging various organizations and events that we have in the Calgary area and within a reasonable amount of area of going back and interacting with those kinds of crossover groups and crossover areas? Obviously, we have a very diverse thing in the SCA, but we also do things outside of the SCA, and a lot of crossovers in science fiction, fantasy, that same. I mean, I'm really thinking about Calgary Expo right now, because there are a ton of other different things around. And I know that in the past, we've not always had the best experience with Calgary Expo, but it is something that other fairies do, where they do go to their local expo and do stuff. And I was wondering if you had an opinion on whether we would look at doing that. I do know that the summer schedule is really hard on us because last month's answer is but Calgary's name.
I'm in support of it, actually. I enjoyed the Calgary Expo in 2019 when we demoed there. Yes, I know there was a lot of stuff in the background that made it not pleasant. I enjoyed actually sharing the fight space with the other groups, such as the larger community and those, I think the Norse groups at the Calgary Military Museum. I don't see any reason we can't interact with other groups. In our SCA, I feel we in general cross over to many different groups within our own SCA community. And I don't see any reason we can't, as a community, share with other groups or share space with other groups and therefore cross over without actually crossing over.
In my earlier life, I've done a lot of anime and cosplays. I used to build weapons and stuff for my kids and go to the anime cons. So that was a little passion that I had, and I miss it. This weekend, actually, I'm going to go and camp with the Lethbridge Medieval Club and see what they do. So yeah, I'm all for doing all that kind of stuff. Comic-Cons, they're big, so they're fun. I encourage people to go to them.
So sickness is going to start with you, but can be answered by both of you. A lot of what the populace sees in the Baron and Baroness is you sitting and in court and speaking to the populace. I know that you have struggled with public speaking, but are you doing anything, or do you have any plans to help you prepare for speaking to the populace and standing in front of court like that?
I think exposure will help. This is terrifying. Hope maybe having scripts for a little while might be a good thing. That's but yeah, I think this is another reason why I'd like to do this is to get over my stage fright, I guess. Maybe.
Hi. If you had to, don't do that. Okay. If you had to choose the most important job of the Barony Barons, someone came up to you and said, "What is the most important thing about what you're doing right now?" What would that be?
The most important job in the Barony right now
The Barony Barons, the most important job is there.
is representing the Barony. You know. But I don't think it's just the Baron Baroness's job to be, I don't think that's the most, it's not the most important job for the Baron, it's the most important job for all of us. For all of our Barony to represent the Barony. So, no one person. The Baron and Baroness aren't more important than anybody else out there. Everybody is, we're all on the same, we're all on that level. That's my thought. Is that it? We're done?
So, one of the things is that there can be a lot of things that come up and issues that come up with any group. How are you guys prepared to put aside your personal opinions, feelings, to address any issues or concerns or situations that may arise if you were successful?
For me, I'm gonna probably lean on my peers and my friends to help me to hold myself accountable, I guess.
Do I have an answer to it?
Yes, you do.
So, I don't think there's any one group that doesn't have issues. If issues are above me, then I'm going to direct them to the proper channels, hopefully direct them to the proper channels to deal with those issues. I don't think it's my position, even as a person, to deal with other people's problems, you know, especially when I don't have the knowledge or training or background, or even the knowledge of those problems, you know.
So Lord Vader has a question. So this is both of you. How do you plan on balancing your responsibility, should you be successful as an EMB, with your other commitments like work, your family, your hobbies, etc.?
Oh, I'm not going to balance my hobbies with successful people. I'm going to continue to do the hobbies because my hobbies are in the SCA mostly. My work is opposite. I don't actually bring my work to the SCA. I don't bring the SCA to my work. I have a government job. When I'm done work, I leave that at work.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I've got older kids, so my responsibilities as a family is small, so I'm free to do whatever.
So one follow-up question from Lord Vader.
travel to Whitney Woods, you know. Until things change and get a little bit better, probably not much further than that.
Can you both articulate to the populace how you see your role as Baron and Baroness as it relates to the crown and the senatorial and the populace?
I think the role of Baron and Baroness, I guess we're the public face of the populace in our barony for the crown and back and forth.
Can I follow up? Hypothetically speaking, if the crown made a decision that you fundamentally disagree with, how would you handle that?
I think that would depend on what the decision, how it affected. If it was a personal disagreement, again, that's neither here nor there when it comes to the barony or the kingdom. If it involves our barony and/or, and I disagree with it, I guess voicing my thoughts would be the first step, and possibly the last, depending on how they felt about it.
I think that's one of the steps that we need to learn also. I don't have an answer. Or that I would kingdom on. Yeah.
There is a saying. King's word is law. Sometimes it takes 6 months to pass.
Okay, I'll just talk over. Different baronies seem to have different areas of interest. For example, the barony of Borealis, I can speak, has a certain strong instrumental culture. When I first moved here and asked about the possibility of playing live music as ambience or as a background during a feast, I was told that the person would kill me if I would try and do that. What are your opinions of me trying to start up live dance music or very much in quiet ambience music during feasts? Because I'm looking at starting up actually an instrumental group here.
No bagpipes.
So, I think as Baron and Baroness, it wouldn't be right to ultimately make a decision on that. It would be something where we talked about earlier, is communicating with the populace and getting everybody's opinion before a decision was made.
Yeah, and those decisions really are like the event stewards and their team, what they want, essentially. I like it, personally. I like the background music while doing events. I think it's great. I'm not against it.
I've got some idea of the service that you've done for Barony already, but that may not be known by everybody. Could you tell everyone about like officer positions and service that you've done?
So I've been in Seneschal Bloom for far too long. I've done a lot of their events yearly, 2 a year. I run those. I volunteered and helped with co-eventing with Coronation a couple of years ago, and coming up Samhain, I'm going to be helping with that one. I like it. I do a lot.
I have been an ANS officer in Montengarde twice. I feast steward half a dozen times. I have co-autocrated events once or twice. As far as volunteering goes, I would say one of my feast stewarding events that I feast stewarded was a last minute, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Can you do it? I've already bought all the groceries and the stuff. You just got to make the food. And then I was given random bins of food to make the populace. So, I, at present, am our archery, captain of the archers. I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to keep doing that. I'd like to. But, yeah.
So, thank you, and you guys have listed off only like about 1/10 of the actual servers that you go through.
I
for those who
can get
don't
the
know.
list, it's
It
really.
is quite a bit, so my next question is, particularly at Sickfest, are you going to be able to put that down and be the bearer? Are you going to be able to sit there and let people set up the thrones and work the feast and do the kitchen and set up tables and you be the bearer? Are you able to put that down?
Yes, he is.
You cannot answer that question before.
That's awesome. Yes.
You don't have to like it.
Again, I don't want to. I absolutely don't want to. I am a firm believer that because our kingdom is so young and small, that we need to do as many things as we can in order to help grow it, to show new people coming in that there is all these things that we can do. And then, you know, when we've shown everybody, we can start sharing those rules out. So it's going to be hard to just sit back and let somebody else do stuff. But I think I can do it.
What role will your peers have in your reign?
All the rules. When you say our peers,
Your respective peers? Because you have Blue and you have Kira and Lions. So what role will your peers have in the reign?
I am going to lean on my respective peer for probably some counsel and wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah, same. I hope that-
Possibly the support I needed.
yeah.
I hope I have more than just Sir Kira for that. I think I do. You know, I think there's a good number of the populace that are going to be there to help me if I have problems or need help. Okay.
So, we have a very small volunteer pool currently right now in Montengarde, as many of us have. What are your plans to try and increase that volunteer pool and also deal with the burnout that many who are currently active in the Barony feel?
So if I had my way, I would counter everything that Sir Elias had asked me about. Like,
Burnout is
am I going to be able to step aside? I would say no. I will step in and help the volunteers who can't do it because they're burning out. But obviously I can't do that. And I can't mysteriously just say, oh, I've got Fred, Joe, and Sally over there who are going to step in and take over. I don't know. I would like to see, even just officers, I would like to see 2 deputies for every officer. That's something that I've thought about for a long time, you know, and would alleviate a lot of the work that the officer does and a lot of the burnout that happens from even those roles, let alone the other stuff.
And maybe not rely on the same person over and over and over again.
What leadership qualities do you
as our peers, that over time have developed a amount of confidence, whether it's real or not real, whether it's a front or not a front. That confidence is definitely, I think it's a calming aspect for the rest of us, you know. And that's something I think, hopefully I can learn to emulate. Okay, now we're done.
We have about 15 minutes left. No, that's fair. Yes.
As a long-time member of the SCA, I've seen very similar couples. Some where the couple splits the responsibilities and one person deals mostly with martial arts, the other person deals with the sciences, arts and sciences, and then balances the responsibilities for various other things. Others where the couple, it's an equal opportunity thing, they all share that. How do you see yourself as a couple, either sharing or dividing the responsibilities that the job entails?
I think a lot of our stuff we do together.
We're equal opportunists. She will do all the heavy fighting.
No.
Oh, I misread that.
No.
No, we're equal opportunists. We will definitely probably share in all those roles.
So you briefly touched on that actually, it's a good question. We do participate in a lot of wars and events, and we obviously have had our Baron and Baroness now lead us out on the war field. You both feel prepared that you can represent on the war field our entire year.
You got this. I think
That was my answer.
Okay.
Yeah, should be.
Absolutely, I think we can do that. I've done it before. Well, I've been a banner bearer and definitely like leading the charge.
So with respect to, where the previous question was about, now I'm blanking, but anyway, my question is about how you guys deal with conflict between yourselves. So a decision has to be made, and you guys both have opposite opinions on what the decision should be made as. How are you guys going to work through that?
Definitely talk it out. Seek counsel if we need it, but I think we have a good communications between the two of us. We can sort it out okay.
She tells me when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
What is your favorite, I know you touched on this with respect to giving you an award. Beyond the court, what is your favorite aspect of the SCA and how are you going to highlight it in the city?
I have two favorite aspects. One is just making stuff, and the other is fighting. Now, I would suggest everybody gets into art, but I don't know if the populace would agree with that, and I think that counters the whole communication thing. But I think just continuing to build on that, for me, is that.
You're really into heavy fighting and want to
Well,
be
no, I'm into the archery and I'm dabbling a little bit into the arts and science. I'm scared to do that still, but I'm, definitely to the archery stuff. Okay.
So, down or over here, what is the absolute thing that you would dread coming up? So you're doing the P&D stuff, but now you've got to do this portion and you're going to hate it, but you're going to do it. So what is it?
I don't know.
So it is like just being up in front of people and,
That is,
that's your worst one?
that is my worst one. I've been dealing with quite a bit of anxiety before right now. I'm, yeah.
Okay.
So, but I'm a stubborn Gen Xer. I'm here. I'm not the type of person to say, as much as I want to run for the door, I'm not going to do it.
As far as the job, meetings, I've done those. I mean, sending reports don't scare me.
Oh my God, I have to be here. I can't do it.
No, I don't have that.
You don't have any of that, no worries, no anxiety for that?
No, just the public.
So,
But again, that comes with, that'll get better in time, I'm sure, so. But I'm excited to take on this and get it.
You know, the crown makes one look at.
Do you have any, this is going to sound like a resume question, but it's an interview. Do you have experience or training in conflict resolution?
So I'm a security guard. I do that on my job, so I think that qualifies.
Conflict resolution rules.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at the judo thing and de-escalating stuff, so hopefully that helps. I don't know if it'll even be relevant, but
People are going to bring you their problems.
yeah, people already bring me problems, so
Um,
that.
Again, if I don't have the knowledge, I'm going to direct them to probably our teaching section or even our Baronial section first, or rely on them for help. If I am able to collect relevant facts from more than one party, I can probably help de-escalate any situation, but I don't think I have the ability or skill to fix the said problems for people.
How will you encourage the reluctant artists, since you're both reluctant artists, in the Barony with respect to arts and sciences specifically?
Well, that's just a mean question.
That's good.
I don't think sickness is reluctant.
That's what I just said.
As you think.
Yes, on occasion, I do need some arm twisting to enter ANS competitions. I think encouraging artists just to keep doing the stuff. Do all the things if you can, and then potentially maybe direct them to people who could support them in entering competitions.
I don't really have an answer for that because I'm struggling with that currently.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Use your position to encourage RDS from these projects.
Oh, that's a good.
I'll shut up.
I was just wondering if there's any personal projects that you want to accomplish in this area of awareness? If there's anything that you want to accomplish in this like 2 years past?
Like for ourselves or for the Baron?
Yeah, I noticed that the last Baron Awareness had stuff that the world accomplished was inside that director when we did it. I was wondering if you had any passion projects that you'd like to work on. I mean,
Yeah. Personal projects. I myself am attempting to learn how to cast and maybe some enameling, and I can see where that leads me. Where that leads me within our Barony and possibly our kingdom. But I still have all kinds of projects on the table.
I have like 800 million projects. They're there. They'll be there whenever.
successful, you do your years, everything's fabulous. What do you want to be remembered for?
I hope in our time doing this that we can come up with something. I don't have an answer for that particularly, but it's definitely something I think we've talked about. That'll be something we're gonna look into. I don't have anything particularly right now. What's new?
At this point, I only have things I want to be remembered for on a personal level within the SCA, and I don't want to share that publicly.
No, that's okay.
You know,
I'm looking for.
hopefully it just happens. But as Baron and Baroness, hopefully we're remembered at the end of it for, you know, building a stronger community that was already started.
So one of the things our kingdom struggles with in general, as has been stated and by you guys, we are a small kingdom. One of the hardest things we have is getting people out and getting them to get memberships. So in your words, as potential Baron and Baroness, is a membership worth it and why?
I think it's worth it because if you go to multiple events, you get discounted. It does add up. The $10 NMS is a lot, and it builds up. So I highly encourage people getting their membership. Also, it opens opportunities for other things being. Yeah.
With a membership, you can do more within the SCA. And if you want to participate more via volunteering or taking officer positions or vying for championships, that membership makes it worth it. Without that membership, you're limiting your exposure to everything we do. So why would you want to limit your exposure if you're crazy people like the rest of us?
Okay, we're coming down to the 5-minute mark.
Who should we have?
You can ask all the weird questions now. Purple.
No,
Oh.
not purple. What's that?
You didn't give an answer. Go ahead.
I was afraid if you become Baroness, will you also grow a beard?
Do you want me to?
I want to say no.
I'm gonna drop a video in on that.
I don't think I could.
I mean,
What are you gonna do with your dragons?
My dragon,
Your Baroness of Montengarde.
I mean, he lives in the house. He can guard the house. Maybe he can, yeah, he can stay home. I don't know.
you don't want to take one to the other branch.
No.
No.
Will you wear wigs?
Don't answer that, Blythe.
Curtis, you have been very outspoken against our Dragon Slayer, Dragon Blinder, which is a beloved pastime for Montengarde. If you are Baroness, are you going to continue to disrespect our pastimes?
No.
Listen, there's a certain part of dragons you guys just don't understand that maybe I can teach you, you can learn from.
Just love Burton.
You understand?
Okay,
You should be more open-minded.
we're coming down to the end. Are there any actual last real questions for this? I'm sorry for opening that can of worms. We're gonna have right now. All right, any other last questions for our candidates? Actual questions.
Closing remarks from the candidates.
Those remarks from candidates.
Because they love us.
Motion carries.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with us. I hope that it, I don't know.
And we don't miss.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you, folks. Keep in mind, this is not easy for anybody, so thank you for stepping up and doing what you've done tonight. We are going to be out in the hall by 9 o'clock, so please be courteous to the person who keeps the keys. If you'd like to have more